What if I told you that the way most men approach relationships today is flawed? What if the reason you've been struggling to find true connection or lasting peace lies not in who you are, but in how you're navigating the journey? Imagine this. You've been following outdated advice, trying to fit into societal molds, and chasing what you think you should want. Yet, here's the hard truth. Most of what we've been taught about relationships is designed to strip us of our power and peace. But what if there was a better way? A timeless framework that's been around for centuries, quietly waiting to revolutionize the way you think about love, connection, and your own worth. That's where Stoicism comes in, a philosophy not just for scholars or monks, but for men like you, navigating the complexities of modern relationships. Today, I'll share with you 9 powerful principles, 9 things smart men must never do with women. These aren't the easy, feel-good tips you'll find elsewhere. They're transformative truths designed to sharpen your focus, elevate your confidence, and protect your peace of mind. Stay with me because by the time we're done, you'll see relationships in a whole new light. You'll no longer be a passive participant in your romantic life, you'll be in control, ready to start your transformation. Let's dive into the first rule. 1. Avoid obsessive devotion. Have you ever found yourself thinking about her all the time, waiting for her text, rearranging your plans to fit her schedule, or even sacrificing your own happiness just to keep her close? If so, let's address this. Obsessive devotion isn't love, it's dependence, and it's dangerous. Think about it. When you become obsessed with someone, you put them on a pedestal, and in doing so, you diminish your own worth. You begin to see her as the center of your universe, as if your happiness, your peace, and your entire identity are tied to her existence. But let me ask you this. What happens when she doesn't meet your expectations? When she needs space? Or when life pulls her attention elsewhere? Suddenly, your world crumbles. You feel lost, anxious, and unworthy. Is that the kind of power you want to hand over? Here's the thing about obsession, it blinds you. It turns every interaction into a test, every silence into a threat. You find yourself overanalyzing her every move, questioning her feelings, and doubting your place in her life. This isn't attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who are composed, confident, and self-assured, qualities that are impossible to maintain when you're consumed by obsession. So how do you break free from this cycle? Start by shifting your focus. Stoicism teaches us that we are the center of our own universe. Your peace, your happiness, and your sense of worth must come from within, not from someone else. Ask yourself, what drives you? What makes you feel alive? Whether it's your career, your hobbies, or your personal growth, dive deep into the things that make you you. When you fill your life with purpose and passion, you'll naturally become less dependent on external validation. And here's a powerful truth. The moment you stop revolving your life around her is the moment she'll start seeing you differently. Confidence, independence, and self-respect are magnetic. They send a clear message. I value myself, and I won't sacrifice my peace for anyone. This isn't about playing games or withholding affection. It's about maintaining balance and ensuring that your love doesn't come at the cost of your own identity. Now, imagine this. You meet a woman, and while she's incredible, you don't lose yourself in the process. You continue to chase your goals, nurture your passions, and invest in your own growth. You're not constantly checking your phone for her messages or rearranging your life to fit hers. Instead, you're calm, composed, and focused on what matters most, your own journey. How do you think she'll respond? More importantly, how will you feel about yourself? If you've ever struggled with obsession, it's time to take back control. Remember, you are the prize. A woman should complement your life, not complete it. By embracing this mindset, you'll not only transform your relationships, but you'll also rediscover a sense of freedom and power that's been waiting within you all along. Are you ready to embrace this truth? Stay tuned because the next principle will take your understanding of relationships to an even deeper level. 2. Embrace solitude. Let me ask you a tough question. Are you afraid of being alone? Society has conditioned us to believe that being single is a problem that needs solving. From movies to social media, we're bombarded with the message that our worth is tied to our relationship status. But here's a bold truth. If you can't find peace in your own company, you'll never build a healthy relationship with someone else. Pause for a moment and reflect. How many people do you know who stay in toxic relationships simply because they fear solitude? They endure constant arguments, manipulation, and even disrespect, believing that having someone, anyone, is better than facing the silence of being alone. But is that really a life worth living? Stoicism teaches us that strength comes from within. To be truly independent, you must first conquer your fear of solitude. Imagine being so comfortable with yourself that your happiness isn't dependent on another person. You don't settle for less, you don't chase validation, and most importantly, you don't compromise your peace of mind just to fill a void. Here's the beauty of solitude. It's not loneliness. It's an opportunity to reconnect with who you are. Take yourself out to dinner, travel solo, or spend time diving into hobbies you've always wanted to explore. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you become a man who isn't desperate for connection but chooses it from a place of strength. This shift is transformative, not just for you but for how others see you. Picture this. You walk into a room radiating confidence. You're calm, composed, and unshaken by external pressures. You're not seeking someone to complete you because you already feel whole. Women sense this. They're naturally drawn to men who stand firmly on their own 2 feet. It's not arrogance, it's self-assuredness. It's saying, I'm here because I want to be, not because I need to be. And here's where it gets interesting. When you no longer fear being alone, you set higher standards for your relationships. You stop tolerating half-hearted efforts, mixed signals, and emotional games. You value your time and energy, and you won't settle for anything less than mutual respect and genuine connection. In doing so, you attract women who match your strength, who respect your boundaries, and who uplift you rather than drain you. Now, I want you to consider this simple yet powerful question. If your current relationship ended tomorrow, would you be okay? If the answer is no, it's time to reflect on why. Are you relying too much on someone else for your happiness? Are you sacrificing your peace to avoid facing solitude? These are tough questions, but the answers will lead you to a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. So here's your challenge. Start embracing solitude today. Spend time alone and get to know yourself on a deeper level. And when you're ready, share your experience in the comments. What does solitude mean to you? Have you ever discovered unexpected growth during your time alone? Let's turn this into a conversation that empowers not just you, but everyone watching. If this message resonates with you, give this video a like. Every like helps spread these life-changing principles to more men who need them. And don't forget to comment below. Your journey might just inspire someone else to take that first brave step toward embracing solitude. 3. Safeguard your mental health. In today's fast-paced, high-pressure world, your mental health is one of your most valuable assets. Yet, how often do men sacrifice it in the name of love? Think about it. How many times have you stayed in a relationship that brought more stress than joy? How often have you endured emotional chaos, all because you didn't want to let go? Let me tell you something that most people won't. No relationship, no matter how promising it seems, is worth losing your peace of mind. Relationships are meant to enhance your life, not drain it. But too often we ignore the signs of toxicity. The constant arguments, the manipulation, the emotional roller coasters. We convince ourselves that these are normal, that love is supposed to hurt sometimes. Here's the truth. Love should challenge you, yes, but it should never break you. If a relationship is slowly eroding your sense of self-worth, your confidence, and your inner calm, it's time to reevaluate. Stoicism teaches us to fiercely guard our mental space. Your mind is like a fortress, and not everyone deserves access to it. Allowing someone into your life means sharing your energy, your thoughts, and your emotions. But when that person brings negativity, drama, or instability, they poison the very foundation of your well-being. The result: anxiety, sleepless nights, and a constant feeling of being on edge. Let me share a scenario. You're in a relationship where every disagreement escalates into a full-blown fight. You're walking on eggshells, trying to avoid triggering another argument. Over time, you start to question yourself. Am I the problem? Am I not enough? This mental turmoil affects every aspect of your life, your work, your friendships, your goals. You're pouring so much energy into maintaining the relationship that there's nothing left for yourself. Here's a hard but necessary truth. It's not your job to fix someone else. You're not responsible for their happiness, their emotional baggage, or their unresolved issues. You can offer support, but when it comes at the cost of your own mental health, the price is too high. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's self-preservation. If someone consistently disrupts your peace, it's your right and your duty to walk away. Protecting your mental health means knowing when to say enough. It means recognizing when a relationship is doing more harm than good and having the courage to let go. This doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're prioritizing your well-being. Remember, a healthy relationship isn't free of conflict, but it is free of constant chaos. It's a partnership where both individuals feel supported, respected, and safe. So how do you safeguard your mental health? Start by being mindful of your emotional state. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions with your partner. Do you feel uplifted and energized, or do you feel drained and anxious? Next, set clear boundaries. Communicate your needs and limits openly, and don't hesitate to enforce them. Finally, practice self-care. Whether it's meditation, exercise, or simply spending time doing what you love, make time for activities that recharge your mental batteries. By prioritizing your mental health, you're not only protecting yourself but also setting the foundation for healthier, more fulfilling relationships in the future. A man who values his peace of mind exudes a quiet confidence that is both powerful and attractive. And when you find someone who respects your boundaries and contributes to your well-being, you'll know you found a relationship worth keeping. 4. Stay true to yourself. Let's face it, when we fall for someone, it's easy to start making compromises. At first, they seem small. Maybe you start dressing a little differently because you know she likes a particular style, or you stop mentioning that hobby she finds boring. But over time, these small compromises pile up. Without even realizing it, you've shifted from being your authentic self to a version of yourself tailored to her preferences. Here's the thing, while relationships do require flexibility, losing yourself in the process is never the answer. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is sacrificing their core identity to make her happy. It might seem noble after all. Isn't love about putting the other person first? But consider this. What happens when you no longer recognize the man in the mirror? What happens when you're so focused on pleasing her that you forget what makes you happy? When you abandon your authenticity, not only do you lose yourself, but you also lose her respect. Women are naturally drawn to men who are confident in who they are. They respect men who have their own opinions, interests, and passions, even if those things don't perfectly align with their own. Think about it. How often have you seen someone completely change once they enter a relationship? Suddenly, the guy who loved gaming or going to the gym is now spending his evenings watching shows he doesn't enjoy or skipping workouts just to avoid conflict. While this might seem like an act of love, it actually sends the wrong message. It says, "I'm willing to give up what matters to me just to keep you around." And over time, that kind of submission erodes both your confidence and her attraction. Stoicism reminds us that true strength lies in being unwaveringly authentic. You are who you are, and that's enough. The right partner will appreciate you for your unique qualities, not a diluted version designed to fit their mold. By staying true to yourself, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated. You demonstrate that while you value the relationship, you won't compromise your identity for it. Imagine a scenario. You've always loved playing guitar. It's how you unwind, express yourself, and connect with your creativity. But after a few months of dating, your partner starts to hint that she finds it annoying. Maybe she makes offhand comments like, "Do you really have to play every day?" Or, "I don't get why you're so into that." In an effort to avoid conflict, you start playing less and less until eventually you stop altogether. At first, she seems pleased, but over time, she starts to notice something's missing, the passion and confidence you once carried. Here's the truth. When you give up the things that make you uniquely you, the spark in the relationship starts to fade. Authenticity is what makes you attractive. It's what makes you stand out in a world full of people trying to fit in. And when you stay true to yourself, you not only maintain your self-respect, but you also create space for a deeper, more genuine connection. So how do you practice staying true to yourself? Start by regularly checking in with your values and priorities. Ask yourself, am I doing this because it aligns with who I am, or because I'm trying to avoid conflict? Am I pursuing my passions and interests, or am I slowly letting them go to accommodate someone else? Be honest with yourself and don't be afraid to assert your boundaries. It's okay to disagree with her. It's okay to have different hobbies. In fact, it's healthy. Ultimately, a strong relationship is built on mutual respect and individuality. By staying true to yourself, you show her that you're not afraid to stand firm in your identity. And trust me, that kind of confidence is not only respected, it's irresistible. 5. Guard your past. In today's world of oversharing, where social media encourages us to post every detail of our lives, it might seem natural to lay all your cards on the table early in a relationship. But let's stop and think for a moment. Does sharing every detail of your past, every heartbreak, every mistake, every personal struggle, truly strengthen your connection? Or does it risk exposing parts of yourself that could later be misunderstood or even weaponized against you? The truth is, your past is a deeply personal part of who you are. It has shaped you, taught you, and perhaps even scarred you. But that doesn't mean every detail is for public consumption, especially in the early stages of a relationship. When you meet someone new, it's tempting to build intimacy quickly by sharing your life story. You might think that being completely transparent will create trust and closeness. However, there's a fine line between honesty and vulnerability and overexposure. Let me ask you this. Have you ever shared something personal too soon, only to have it come back to haunt you? Maybe it was an ex who brought up your past failures during a fight, or someone who used your vulnerabilities to manipulate or guilt trip you. It's a painful experience, and it's one that can be avoided with a bit of wisdom and restraint. Stoicism teaches us to guard what matters most, and this includes your past. It's not about being deceptive or withholding. It's about understanding that trust is built over time. When you first start dating someone, focus on the present and the future. Share your ambitions, your passions, and the values that guide your life. These are the foundations of who you are now. As the relationship deepens and trust grows, you can gradually reveal more about your journey. But even then, some parts of your story are yours alone to keep. Here's why this matters. Maintaining a sense of mystery not only protects you, but it also keeps the relationship dynamic and exciting. Women respect men who are confident enough to share what's necessary without feeling the need to overshare. It shows composure, self-respect, and emotional intelligence. Think of your past as a precious treasure chest. Not everyone deserves access to it, and those who do must first prove their trustworthiness. This doesn't mean you're hiding who you are. It means you're safeguarding your most vulnerable parts until you know they'll be handled with care. So what can you do now? Start practicing discernment. The next time you're tempted to spill your entire life story, pause and ask yourself, is this necessary? Have we built the trust required for this level of sharing? By setting boundaries around your past, you protect your peace and ensure that your history doesn't become a tool for future conflict. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced the downside of oversharing in a relationship? What did it teach you about guarding your past? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this message resonates with you, give this video a like. Together, let's spread the power of Stoicism and help more men navigate their relationships with wisdom and confidence. 6. Value your time. Time is the one resource we can never get back. Every second you spend is gone forever, and yet, how often do we treat time like it's infinite? In relationships, this is particularly dangerous. You might find yourself caught up in endless texting with no real intention, spending hours waiting for a reply, or investing weeks, even months, chasing someone who only gives you half-hearted attention. It's time to ask yourself, Is this how you want to spend your most precious resource? One of the most significant ways men lose their sense of self-worth is by allowing others to waste their time. Whether it's a woman who's not serious about you or a relationship that's clearly going nowhere, every minute spent in these situations is a minute you could have used to grow, to learn, or to chase your dreams. Think about how much more fulfilled you'd feel if you redirected that time toward your personal goals or meaningful connections. Stoicism teaches us to take control of what we can, and time management is one of those critical areas. When you treat your time as valuable, you naturally start setting higher standards for how others interact with you. A woman who consistently cancels plans, gives mixed signals, or drags things out without commitment is showing a lack of respect, not just for your time, but for you. And here's the hard truth. If she doesn't respect your time, she doesn't respect you. Imagine this: you've been texting someone for weeks. You've made plans only for her to cancel at the last minute, promising to reschedule soon. But days turn into weeks, and the cycle repeats. You're left hanging, hoping for a moment of her attention, rearranging your life around the possibility of seeing her. Is this how a man who values himself operates? Of course not. When you value your time, you send a powerful message. I am worth more than empty promises and wasted hours. You learn to recognize when someone is genuinely invested in you and when they're just keeping you around as an option. You stop tolerating being strung along because you understand that your time is your life. So how do you begin valuing your time? Start by setting boundaries. Be clear about what you're willing to invest and what you expect in return. If someone repeatedly fails to meet your standards, have the courage to walk away. This isn't about being rigid or unkind. It's about protecting your energy and ensuring that every moment is spent on something or someone that adds value to your life. Another critical step is learning to say no. Not every opportunity or invitation deserves your attention. If an interaction isn't aligned with your goals or doesn't bring you joy, it's okay to decline. This simple act of prioritizing can free up hours for the things that truly matter: your passions, your growth, and the people who uplift you. By valuing your time, you'll find that your relationships become more meaningful. The people who remain in your life will be those who respect your boundaries and appreciate the effort you bring. And in return, you'll have the time and energy to invest in what truly matters, creating a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. 7. Pursue your path relentlessly. Every man has a unique path, a set of dreams, goals, and aspirations that define his purpose. But how often do men veer off their path to accommodate someone else? It starts subtly. You meet a woman who dislikes the risks involved in your dreams, or perhaps she's not supportive of the time and energy you dedicate to your ambitions. Before you know it, you're compromising. You're making decisions based on her comfort, not your vision. And one day you wake up feeling like a shadow of the man you were meant to be. Here's the harsh truth. When you sacrifice your purpose to please someone else, you're not just letting yourself down, you're betraying the potential you hold. Stoicism teaches that our true fulfillment comes from living in alignment with our purpose. Your dreams and goals are not negotiable, they're the core of who you are. A partner who truly loves and respects you will understand this. She'll support you in pursuing your path, even when it's challenging or inconvenient. Let's imagine you've always dreamed of starting your own business. It's a risky endeavor, and it requires long hours, dedication, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. Now, suppose you're in a relationship with someone who values stability above all else. She begins to question your choices. Why can't you just stick with your current job? It's safer. At first, you might brush off these comments, but over time, her doubts start to seep into your own thoughts. You begin to scale back your ambition, convincing yourself that she's right. After all, isn't it better to keep the peace? But here's the reality. Compromising your dreams doesn't create peace. It creates resentment. The longer you suppress your ambitions, the more frustrated and disconnected you'll feel, not just from your partner, but from yourself. And this resentment can poison even the strongest relationship. A man on his path is unstoppable. He exudes confidence, determination, and a sense of purpose that's magnetic. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a clear vision for their lives, who know what they want, and aren't afraid to go after it. This isn't about being selfish or dismissive of your partner's needs. It's about understanding that your purpose is non-negotiable and the right partner will walk beside you, not try to steer you off course. So how do you stay on your path? Start by getting crystal clear on your goals. What drives you? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Once you've identified your path, commit to it wholeheartedly. Communicate your vision to your partner early in the relationship, making it clear that your ambitions are a fundamental part of who you are. If she supports you, great. If not, have the courage to let go and keep moving forward. Remember, life is too short to live someone else's dream. The world needs the unique contribution that only you can offer. Stay true to your path, and you'll not only find fulfillment, but you'll also attract a partner who respects and admires your relentless pursuit of greatness. 8. Maintain relationships with friends and family. Here's a scenario that might sound familiar. You meet someone amazing, and suddenly, your world begins to revolve around her. Your weekends, once filled with time spent with your friends or family, are now entirely dedicated to her. Slowly but surely, your support system fades into the background. At first, it seems fine, you're caught up in the excitement of a new relationship. But eventually you realize you've isolated yourself. And if that relationship ends, you're left feeling alone, unmoored, and disconnected from the people who've always been there for you. Let me be clear. No relationship should come at the expense of your support system. Your friends and family are your foundation. They've seen you at your best and your worst, and their love for you isn't conditional. When you prioritize them, you maintain a balance in your life that strengthens your emotional resilience. But when you let those bonds weaken, you set yourself up for isolation and vulnerability. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of maintaining strong, steady connections with those who matter most. While romantic relationships are valuable, they should never overshadow the relationships that keep you grounded. Imagine this: a man who is deeply connected to his family, who values his friendships, and who makes time for the people who've supported him throughout his journey. That man exudes a sense of completeness. He isn't relying on his romantic partner to fulfill every emotional need, which makes him more attractive and well-rounded. Why is this so important? Because women respect men who have lives outside of the relationship. It shows independence, confidence, and emotional stability. A woman will be more drawn to a man who maintains his own friendships, calls his mom regularly, or spends Sundays watching the game with his dad. It signals that you're a man who values connection and isn't afraid to nurture it. On the flip side, consider how unhealthy it feels when someone expects their partner to be their everything. That kind of pressure can suffocate even the best relationships. By keeping your support system alive, you not only protect yourself from this dynamic, but also create a more balanced, fulfilling partnership. Here's your challenge: make time for your friends and family, even when you're in the throes of a new relationship. Plan regular meetups with your closest friends, call your parents, or spend time with your siblings. Not only will this enrich your life, but it will also strengthen your relationship with her. She'll see that you're a man who values all the important people in his life, not just the one he's romantically involved with. Now, let's hear from you. How do you balance your romantic relationships with your friendships and family? Have you ever felt the sting of losing touch with your support system? Share your experiences in the comments. And if you're finding value in these principles, give this video a like. Your engagement helps us reach more men who are ready to take control of their relationships and their lives through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. 9. Avoid obsessive devotion. Let's talk about one of the most common traps in relationships: obsessive devotion. It often starts innocently enough. You're captivated by her beauty, her kindness, her intelligence. She becomes the center of your thoughts, and soon every decision, every action revolves around her. While this level of focus might feel like passion, it's anything but healthy. In fact, it's a surefire way to lose yourself, and ultimately, her respect. When you become obsessed, you're no longer in control. You start seeking constant validation, overthinking every interaction, and living in fear of losing her. This isn't love. It's dependence. You're putting her on a pedestal, treating her as though she's the key to your happiness and self-worth. But here's the truth. No one can bear the weight of being someone's entire world. It's exhausting, and it creates an unbalanced dynamic that's destined to crumble. Women are drawn to men who are confident, composed, and self-reliant. They want a partner, not a follower. When you make her the sole focus of your life, you're essentially saying, my happiness depends on you. This level of dependence isn't just unattractive, it's unsustainable. Relationships thrive when both individuals bring their full, independent selves to the table. Obsession robs you of your individuality, and it strips the relationship of its balance and respect. Stoicism teaches us to remain centered, no matter the circumstances. You are the foundation of your life, not her. Your goals, your passions, your growth, these are the pillars that should support your identity. When you obsess over someone, you neglect these pillars. You stop prioritizing your own development, and in doing so, you lose the qualities that made you attractive in the first place. Here's a simple test. Think about how you spend your time and energy. Are you constantly checking your phone for her messages? Rearranging your schedule to align with hers, even when it disrupts your own plans? Worrying about what she's doing when she's not with you? If the answer is yes, it's time to take a step back and refocus on yourself. Imagine how different your life could look if you shifted that energy inward. Instead of obsessing over her, you're working on your fitness, advancing in your career, or exploring new hobbies. You're not just waiting for her to validate you, you're building a life that you're proud of, regardless of her presence. And here's the irony. The less you obsess, the more attractive you become. A man who is fully engaged with his own life exudes confidence and independence, qualities that are irresistible. Obsession doesn't just harm your self-esteem, it sabotages the relationship itself. It creates pressure, fosters insecurity, and ultimately pushes her away. By letting go of obsessive devotion, you free yourself to experience love in a healthier, more balanced way. You become a partner who is grounded, composed, and genuinely happy, qualities that make for a lasting and fulfilling connection. Remember, she is a part of your life, not the entirety of it. When you embrace this mindset, you not only protect your peace, but also lay the foundation for a relationship built on mutual respect and admiration. Let's take a moment to step back and see the bigger picture. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered 9 powerful truths about what smart men should avoid in relationships. These principles aren't about playing games or manipulating others. They're about reclaiming your power, protecting your peace, and fostering genuine connections that uplift rather than drain you. You've learned to avoid obsessive devotion, to embrace solitude, and to safeguard your mental health. You've discovered the importance of staying true to yourself, valuing your time, and pursuing your path relentlessly. You've recognized the need to guard your past and maintain strong ties with friends and family. Each of these lessons builds upon the others, forming a solid foundation for not only better relationships but a better life. But here's the real takeaway. All of this starts with you. The respect, the love, the admiration you seek from others must first come from within. When you operate from a place of confidence and self-assurance, you naturally attract people who reflect and respect those qualities. The right relationship doesn't demand that you sacrifice your identity, it celebrates and enhances it. Now it's time to put these insights into action. Take a hard look at your life and your relationships. Are you upholding these principles? Where do you need to make changes? Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with each small step, you move closer to becoming the man you were meant to be. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If these lessons resonate with you, don't keep them to yourself. Share this wisdom with other men who might need it. Together, we can build a community grounded in respect, authenticity, and strength, a community that embraces the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and thrives in the face of modern challenges. Here's to your growth, your strength, and your unwavering commitment to living life on your terms. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and above all, stay true to yourself.